everybody can see my screen. I just want to make sure we're all set up here, if that's okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So let me just say that on behalf of all of us in the Community and Justice Services Program, we're thrilled that you could be with us this morning. Uh, and our program has existed for a number of years. It started off originally as the Correctional Worker Program, but has really evolved over the years. And I think, instead of spending all this time myself talking about the program, we have collected all of our staff and a couple of outstanding students to kind of talk about their experiences in the program, which may be, in essence, a little more relatable for you. And so we're thrilled to have Josh and Alex with us. There are two students, and they'll be speaking to you a bit later. And we also have Michelle Swardens, who's full-time faculty in the program, and Pamela Roca, who is also with us, and she's our placement officer. So we're thrilled that they could be here. One of the things that makes our program at Niagara particularly exciting is the makeup of the faculty. So what I'd like to start off is just giving you a little bit of information about who we are. And then Michelle, maybe you want to chime in as well. So we are fortunate enough to have individuals from each and every ministry that works within corrections. And what the great thing about that is that each and one of us as a faculty member has taught at our respective staff colleges. So the training that you're going to get is directly related to the field experience that you'll be going into, which is awesome. The other thing that you need to know is that the majority of us have worked in various positions at various levels within the system. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I began in corrections probably way before you were even born, and had worked my way from being a parole officer to a warden at a federal institution. I worked for Correctional Service of Canada, and then went to national headquarters where I wrote the case management curriculum and then delivered it for the country. So, and that was for parole officers, correctional officers, psychologists, and anyone who worked within Correctional Services of Canada. And then I had the awesome opportunity of coming to Niagara College while still working for corrections, and received permission from them to teach their curriculum within our program, which was really fantastic. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to introduce herself, and then we'll get into some of the issues in the, not issues, some of the descriptions within the program. So Michelle.
Okay, hi everybody. So my name is Michelle, and like Professor Hall talked about, is the most awesome thing about us, besides our great students that we have, is that we do come from each line of corrections or some type of justice program or in the community. And we've also been involved in recruitment too. So we know the recruitment process very well, and we have all those connections. So my background is mainly looking at youth and for youth in conflict with the law, as well as community services. My background includes working frontline in a youth facility as probation parole. So I've worked in the provincial system, both adults and youth, and worked for the training organizations and recruitment. And also for me, that I currently also still work for Family and Children's Services part-time. So we're very connected. That's the other benefit to us, is we are still very connected to all our different community organizations. I guess, and also I'm a mental health first aid instructor. So as part of your second year course, I certify all of my students in mental health first aid. So, because that's a really important part about the work that we do. So I feel we're kind of a great supportive team and here to support students be successful and be the best, awesome, most perfect person they could be.
That's great. Pamela Roca, you want to say something about your role in the program?
So hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Pamela Roca, and I am the placement officer for the Community and Justice Services program. I've been with the program for about 5 years, but I've taught as well at Niagara College in various programs, and I've also done the volunteer coordinator position as well. So welcome. I look forward to meeting all of you in third term, and we'll talk a little bit more about the placement process in the upcoming slides.
And Alex and Josh, I'm going to hold off until the end because you guys are kind of the icing on the cake, if that's okay. And the other Pam, should we introduce her as well? I don't see your picture, Pam. So Pam Skinner.
Okay, well, it's my pleasure to be here, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Campus Operations here at Niagara College, and I'd like to just take a few minutes to say a few words of welcome, but I'm particularly excited to be a part of this session of our virtual Spring Open House because I too come from corrections. One of my favorite statements is to say that I spent the first 12 years of my career in jail, and that usually gets people's attention. Similar to some of the others you've heard from, I've had experience working in correctional institutions, working as a correctional officer, delivering programs to inmates, also working in the Correctional College Training Center for the provincial system, and then moving into the corporate area of corrections, where my focus was to try to get better funding for our correctional programs and to change some of the policies that I felt needed to better reflect the reality of work in corrections. It's a real joy for me to be at Niagara College and to welcome you today. And I want to say that we do wish we were welcoming you on campus today. Throughout your open house experience, you're going to have the opportunity, as you've heard, to ask questions, explore the campus, and find out what makes Niagara College a community. The great thing about this virtual event is the ability to extend the invitation to those who are at a further distance from Niagara College. We have attendees here today from all over the world, and we welcome you to the Niagara College experience. A distinct hallmark at NC is that we offer experiential learning for a breadth of programs that reflect the key sectors of our region, province, and the broader global economy. While many students are learning remotely right now, we are still offering those live and hands-on experiential learning opportunities that makes NC so unique and that will give you the skills you need to achieve your dreams. Our goal is to create a student-focused, inclusive learning community, and we want to continuously keep you informed and connected while making these important decisions for your future. I want to encourage you to explore our event, participate, and ask any questions you may have in all these sessions that you attend today. We look forward to sharing with you our NC DNA that sets us apart from other schools and makes Niagara College unique. So enjoy the open house, and we here at NC look forward to the day when we'll see you here on our amazing campuses.
Thank you very much. Oh, let's go, as we go through this slideshow that we've presented, we just want to hit on some of the major areas that we focus on within the program. And I think also I would like Michelle at any point in time to step in and help me out with this. So our real focus, to be perfectly honest with you, is on risk assessment and case management. Because when we're talking about corrections, whether it be within an institution, a youth institution, or in the community, really we are for the first primarily interested in managing individuals' risk levels and then providing them with programs that will help them to become law-abiding citizens and to develop skills that will make them successful. One of the key areas that we of the program that is really attractive is there is a 400-hour field placement in our third term in which you specifically go out and work with agencies in a real hands-on situation where you have the opportunity to practice some of the theoretical things that you've learned in class. And one of the great things about Niagara is that we get to know each and every one of you very, very well. And so you're not alone in the process of finding placement. We are dedicated throughout the entire program to make sure that you are completely successful and that your educational experience leads you to those areas that allow you to flourish and use the gifts that you already have, which is awesome. Pamela, did you want to say a couple of things about placement? And then Michelle?
Sure. So, like Mr. Holub said, during your second year with us, so third term, you will be asked, or you will look at your different placement choices that you would like to go to, and we will try to get you in there. Once you're there, you'll be required to do 400 hours working one-on-one with the agency, and I guess we have many different placements. So whether you're interested in community-based or institutional-based, it's really up to you. But we have tons of different options. And also the other benefit is if you decide to want to stay close to home, we do offer placement opportunities in your area as well. So it's not just in the Niagara region, but it's within various areas in Ontario, I guess. Other than that, I think that's it. It's a great experience. Our students have an amazing experience every time. So we look forward to going through this process with you.
Thank you very much. Michelle, did you want to add anything?
I think I just want to add a little bit to what you said about the importance of what we do at Niagara College is to support them. So we do get to know all of you. Like I said earlier, we're very excited to see Josh and Alex because obviously we haven't been able to see them in person as much this year. So we get to know each of you personally. We also are here to support you throughout this process. So it's a big change coming to college, whether you're coming from high school or you're an older student and coming back to school, or if you're coming from university as well. So it's a big change, and we are here totally to support you. Niagara College actually has really great programs for accommodations and student support and counseling and tutoring and all of those things. And I feel as a program, we are very approachable, I hope. We are very approachable, and we will make those connections for you because that's what we do. And we're here to not just help you with your schoolwork, but we're here to also make those connections back that if you need anything at all, we're here to help you support you.
Thanks, Michelle. I just want to say this, and all of us in the program are faculty, are parents, and parents of children that have gone on to post-secondary education, except for Pamela. Pamela's a little too young yet, but that's a bonus actually. So we understand some of the challenges that can happen in making that kind of transition. So not only do we strive to help you out in terms of your academic performance, but if we see that you're experiencing any kind of difficulties, we really want to reach out and help you as best we can, not just within the community college environment, but also connecting you to community resources if need be. So we are dedicated absolutely to making sure that you're successful in every way. Some of the opportunities that exist as a result of taking this program is the following, and I won't go through the entire list, but what you can see here is that you're not limited to one specific type of employment opportunity. And what we also find really interesting is when you come in, we find people have this definite idea of where I want to go and where I'm headed. And then after your first year, things can change so radically. And I think that's because we open up so many new possibilities that you may have never even considered. And Michelle, I'll turn that over to you too. If I know we've talked about this on numerous occasions.
Yes, I think actually that's I think most people are very set, and I actually just had this conversation with some first years yesterday during class. So although yes, we are currently teaching online, I will say we're still very involved. We have Zoom classes, we have meetings. We're actually very connected to our students, even virtually, right? As Holub knows, we're usually our Zoom calls go a little bit after because people have lots of questions and want to check in. And I said to my first year's plan, I said, just wait and wait till you go to placement, and then it's going to change a lot that you're interested in for sure. And We're here to support you through the whole placement process. So we will also give you feedback of maybe we want you to push your boundaries and try something a little bit different. We are all also open to you giving us some ideas, such as Josh was saying, well, this is what I'm interested in. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So let's connect you to that service, to something. So we're open to both of those. One thing as I can talk about just about those career opportunities. So there are lots of, yes, we have students who go on to work in institutions. We have lots of students who are hired at shelters. We've had someone just recently being hired in addiction services. We've had some people that gone on to police force, different police forces, actually all three, and military. So it's a whole wide range. And for us, I feel that the placement opportunity is really what's going to set you apart when we're looking at future career opportunities. You actually also get a whole class with me based on, you know, not just the placement process, but getting ready for careers. So resumes and interviews and so forth. And as just a plug about, I know as parents, we're always like, well, what's the job possibilities afterwards? Like, what's the likelihood? Well, I can tell you that the provincial system just had a recent posting for 160 correctional officers. That's just one posting recently. On regular basis, they're 50 or 100. So there is a large demand for provincial correctional officers. But that doesn't mean it's the fit for everybody. As we know, for some of us, Pam, that was a definite fit and it's an amazing career opportunity, but there's a lot more opportunities available to everyone. But yeah, there are definitely job opportunities in the community and justice services.
Thanks, Michelle. One of the things I think we also need to kind of expand upon is that maybe you're not at this point in time ready to go on to the workforce. Maybe you're interested in enhancing and upgrading your educational experiences. We are very focused on allowing you to pursue those things, whether it be at Niagara College within other programs. So within the School of Justice Studies, for example, you can branch off and do other programs at an accelerated level. As well, we also like to prepare people for university because there are those who may want to go on and do degree programs in related fields. So we spend a lot of time working on communication skills, writing, and allowing you to grow in those areas as well. Having a look at our curriculum, and I just want to go through this really briefly, but if you have any questions at any point in time, you can email us or contact the college. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. The primary or core programs that we have in the program are either identified as laws or core, CORR. Laws obviously stands for the law, and core stands for corrections. And your primary instructors in those courses will be myself, Michelle, or Dave Dunsby, who is a fellow correctional worker who just recently retired from the provincial correctional system, who has a ton of experience and is really willing to help you along too. What you should know is that when you arrive to your class for the first time, you'll be given a course outline and a teaching and learning plan, and feel free to contact your instructors at any time to get clarification. We love to be able to provide you with assistance and have no problem in answering your questions and assisting you in that process. Michelle, I don't know if you want to add, you feel free to jump in at any time.
I think that's great.
Okay. So what you'll see is that the course is divided, the program is divided into 4 terms. Term 1, you sort of get your introductory law courses, and then you move on to more advanced type of hands-on training. So you'll see here in Core 1422, which is intervention strategies with clients at risk. Here we at the School of Justice, we have an awesome simulation lab with a jail cell where you'll do searching techniques, you'll do nonviolent crisis intervention. Michelle teaches mental health first aid, which is actually a certificate program. So what we want to do in those situations is equip you as best as possible to move in to your field of employment with confidence and the abilities that are necessary. I would say that the jewel of our program, for lack of a better word, is our field placement. And the field placement, you'll see here, is 11 credits long. It's listed as prac, so that's for practical experience, 1232, and it is for the entire term. In our particular program, we do one placement as opposed to several, because in the area of criminal justice, what we find is, in order for a student to fully immerse themselves in the environment that they're going, you need to build a rapport with the people that you're going to be learning and working with, and they need to build a rapport with you. And once that happens, I think the things that you're allowed to do, that hands-on experience, is much more valuable than if you were only there for, a couple hundred hours. So that seems to work very well for our students. Many of our students have gone on to be hired from the placements where they were. Anything else anybody wants to say about field placement, Pamela or Michelle?
I think the only thing, again, what kind of separates us from other colleges regarding field placement is we are here to support you through the entire placement experience. You are not required to go and find your own. We actually have a really great list of connections that we've made within the justice system. So various different opportunities. And we will have lots of time to be able to discuss different options with you, challenge you a little bit so you think outside the box and try something a little bit different. But we are definitely here to support you and guide you through that before you get to placement, to pick a placement. So that makes us a little bit different too.
Yeah, and we're working with you right along the whole time, right? Hand in hand, just to make sure that you're stay connected and you never feel that you've been kind of left alone. The other thing that I should mention about field placement is that whether you choose to do your field placement in Niagara or choose to do it in Kingston, Ottawa, Toronto, we've even had people do placements abroad, so internationally, in other countries and other regions, and we still stay connected with all those students, and their experiences have been phenomenal. In our final term, the fourth term, we try and bring you back to the college and really reinforce those things that you've learned throughout the entire program. And it's kind of our way to checking back in with you. And what is really great about term 4 is, given the experiences that our students have had, they really are contributors to your education. So we learn from one another. You can see the excitement as people talk about their experiences. And we come together as a close community in support of one another, trying to help you again be as successful as you can. Why Niagara? And there's a number of reasons. Again, I think we have staff from federal, provincial, youth. Notice I put family and children services in there, Michelle, as well. So you get a real broad spectrum of the kinds of works that you could be doing. Meaningful certifications that are work ready. So lots of organizations will want you to have mental health first aid, and Michelle is an actual certified deliverer of that program. So you're getting that certification, you're getting crisis intervention. Again, things that you can apply, CPR, first aid. I can't stress enough the idea of personal attention. All three of us get to know you very, very well. And it really helps you as a student be successful. And that's the key. That's what we're all kind of striving towards, is for you to be as successful as possible. The simulation labs that we have, the job ready experiences, and really Niagara is an awesome place to live. And the college itself has really expanded some of its facilities, and they're state of the art. And I did put a couple of pictures in here just to kind of show you what our new cafeteria looks like. This is at the Welland campus because we're located there. And if you look at the classroom situation, it really lends itself to a quality experience both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And it is an awesome environment where everyone from the president to the vice president to executive team members to faculty to support staff, we're all here with one goal in mind, and that's to help you be successful. And so what I want to do now is turn it over to our students, our current students. And in no particular order, just because you're on my screen, Josh, I'm going to turn it over to you. And if you wouldn't mind saying a few things about your experience here at Niagara.
Absolutely, absolutely. It will be an honor. So morning again to my fellow NC and prospective NC Knights, go Knights. I am Josh Lyons. My pronouns is he, him, and they. And a little bit about my experience. So I pride my experience from, of course, my diversity of knowledge and my lived experiences, as well as my academic progression through Niagara College and my work history volunteering with the Niagara Folk Arts Multicultural Center, the Out of the Cold Start Me Up Niagara, as well as my new venture with OCASI, which is the Ontario Council of Agencies serving immigrants and newcomers. I know we were talking a little bit about placement, so I definitely want to talk and focus more on that because that was an amazing experience for me. So let me just tell you folks, and it is not a lie, our professors, the staff, they are there with you every step of the way, even when you have questions. So I was known as one of the students who always lift my hands and always had a question. And it was always welcomed. I never felt that I needed not to ask a question, or it was not a safe or brave space for me to be able to do so. So I was very, very grateful for that. And straight through up into the time for placement, we had a course with a work experience with the lovely Professor Michelle, who of course had given us all the tools and equipment that we needed for the working force. And again, of course, you know, with fear and anxiety and all these different things, that mental health course as well also helps you to be able to handle some of those anxieties and those things that you will feel whenever going into placement or throughout your daily life. And so my placement, I was able to work at the Niagara Folk Arts Multicultural Center with their dynamic team of both young and seasoned professionals. And it was an amazing opportunity. I worked in the Community Connections department. And their purpose is basically to bring together newcomers to Canada and establish like a community residence of sharing for learning, assistance with volunteer placements, opportunities with intake, and basically culturalizing yourself in Canada. While working in the Community Connections, I had the privilege of collaborating on a few of their programs, one of them being the Art Hub session. I was able to co-host that event, as well as the Theater Project, which is a space where you can come and display the arts, do a little bit of acting, and a lot of socializing. So that was a wonderful opportunity. Even considering in the pandemic, there were wonderful programs that was going on and that kind of placed me in being in these unprecedented times, but knowing how to be a professional and how to bring things together and create programs that benefit and that are trendy and that persons can rely on. And so that was a wonderful opportunity for me. I also had the wonderful opportunity to be a part of an accessibility and inclusion module. And so that was pretty cool. Normally, I always would say teaching is not my thing, but you learn so many different new skill sets in this trade because of the wonderful wealth of knowledge, information that you're exposed to, and the wonderful staff and people. And so for me, normally in class, like I said, I was the person who would ask all the questions, and I would get wonderful answers. And what I would do is I would apply them, and I would see how best, I would see if they're right. I would see if my professors, the staff, they're telling me if it was right information. And let me say to you folks, it was the correct information. It was right information. And I was able to utilize that. And as a result of that, me partnering and doing my placement at the Niagara Folk Arts Multicultural Center, I was able to now partner and become a part of the Ontario Council of Agencies serving immigrants and newcomers, where I was provided as an ambassador, as a PSI champion. And basically the PSI champion is the liaison ambassador for the Positive Spaces Initiative projects that helps to support immigrations who are funded by the Refugee and Citizenship Canada. So that was my wonderful experience with placement. And my takeaways were important. First of all, self-care. Going back to our mental health course and how important it is and I can't express how important it is to take care of yourself to take care of your needs. And being able to be in that course and hear of the wonderful resources that Michelle had shared with us allowed me to be able to pull onto those resources when I needed it. So that was amazing. And so I was able to go into the workforce and learn how to apply self-care, because that is important, so that I could be able to provide meaningful service to our clients, as well as the ability to work within a team. Let me just say, when I first started Niagara College, I was not the best working in teams, but navigating through it. And sometimes, like I said, you might butt heads, you might have a little bit of, I guess, an opportunity to talk and dialogue about different opinions, and that's okay, because those things are welcome, because, you know, iron sharpens iron, and it helps you to see a different perspective. So that I was able to learn that, and most importantly, most effectively, my time management skills. Making sure that I completed all of the hybrids. Not only that, with respects to case management and a lot of the other projects that we do, there's a lot of time management skills that you have to make sure that you capitalize on, so that you can be able to present the best work, and you make sure that you're not flustered. And so all those perks was a wonderful opportunity. Now, on a more personal level, I've also, as a human being, I've had the opportunity to face different things, and some of those things can be, not to list them, but from my perspective, accommodations, finding funding and resources. And I was able to go to the various places and spaces. Sometimes I would ask Michelle or Mr. Hollive. I was even able to speak with Pamela in reference to a certain time where I was doing my placement and I wasn't quite sure about documents and all these things. So the help is always there. You can always send an email and they will get to you right away, and they will provide you with the necessary resources that you need. And that's what I needed. Was it hard for me? Absolutely. It's school and everyone learns differently. But the thing about it is that they taught me perseverance, and they taught me that when you're faced with an obstacle, don't allow that obstacle to get the better part of you. You can do this. And like in the, I like to quote Michelle a lot when she says it's easy peasy. And sometimes when you take on that perspective, then you realize, you know, it is not as difficult. You will have hardships. There will be some things that you won't understand, but you don't have to be afraid. You have the Mr. Hollives, you have the Michelle Swadens, you have Pamela, who will be able to assist you, and other staff and faculty staff. And if they cannot assist you, the one thing that they pride themselves on, and I can attribute to what I've seen, is that they will direct you to the necessary resources and make sure, and they follow up. So a lot of people will direct you to the resources, but they don't follow up. So I think that's amazing. And just to even as a side note, I even was able, I had a situation that I needed to present, that I felt that I needed my voice to be heard. And that's where I was introduced to the student conduct department, where they provide advocacy skills. And there was a time that I needed that, and they did that. So I was very happy. I also, like I said, there were some grievances that I had, and I thought I was just a number, but my concerns went all the way up to the dean, because they care about you. They want to make sure that you're okay. You're not just seen as a number. And again, there isn't a framework that is perfect. So this is there is diversity, there's inclusive, but there's no framework that is perfect. And I'm glad that they're actively working towards that. And so yeah, so that's been my wonderful experience at the Niagara College here. And honestly, I would say, lastly, my key takeaways and what I would say would be wonderful habits for you folks is to make sure, again, you manage your time effectively, actively participate in your courses, other than like your college activities, you know, like clubs and events. And it's important to volunteer, because you learn so much other knowledge, and you could connect so many other skill sets. Be open with your professors, communicate with your professors, be truthful. Be honest, because they're here to support you and they're willing to support you. They just need to know how to support you, and they will ask that. Keep track of all of your deadlines, and it's important to understand your students' rights and responsibilities, and most importantly, behave respectfully, because at the end of the day, once you display that respect and you get that respect, that's something that you will get. So that's all I have. I'm sorry if I was a little bit wordy, but that's the night to me. I'm excited and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks very much. Alex, you're up, as they say.
Wow. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that. Thank you so much for sharing, Josh. I feel like Josh talked about a lot of very important things already. So I will just, I don't know, touch on some other things that I think are important too. One thing I know we mentioned is we talked about how our professors have all these different experiences. So they're bringing their real life experiences here to our teaching. But not only do we get that experience from our teachers, we're also getting that from the other students that we have. We have students that are coming from so many different walks of life. You know, a lot of them are older, some of them are younger and fresh out of high school. Some of them have been to different educational, like they've had different degrees and diplomas already. And some of them have had so many different work experiences. So one thing that I noticed and I was so grateful for is that I could bounce my ideas and bounce the things that I was learning off of some of the other students. And we could all say how our own lived experiences really connected to it, or how, you know, oh, well, we dealt with it that way. But now that what we've learned something, when we encounter this on the job or we encounter this in the future, now we know better how to deal with it. So being able to work and do like and learn new things along with all these other students that have all these different lived experiences was really grateful for me. And I think that it really is a big thing that has a huge impact on this program specifically. I was super thankful to do my placement at Start Me Up Niagara. Kind of like what Holub said, how like when people come in, they have this certain idea of where they're gonna do their job. And then, you know, they do their placement and they're like, whoa, no way. When I came into this program, I was like, I am never being a correctional officer ever. I'm only working in the community. And now I'm like, you know, maybe I could be a correctional officer. Maybe I'll be a primary worker. I love working in the community and I love it so much. And my placement at Start Me Up Niagara really showed me that what I want to do more so is doing case management, is helping people on parole. As much as I love the community, I think I want to be more in that correctional aspect and not just working with people that are homeless and working with people on the streets. As much as that is a very important job, I think I want to work more so with, you know, with people in corrections. So it really does totally change your perspective. Yeah, totally does. Along with the college, not only in this program, but the opportunities that you have at Niagara College are never ending. So along with this program, I was able to act on the board of directors with Niagara College Student Administrative Council and was the director for the School of Justice and Fitness. So I really wanted to be able to have, oh, thank you. I really wanted to have a lasting impact on the college. And I thought that my views and my lived experience would be able to bring new things to the college, both at the Wyland campus and at the Niagara on the Lake campus. And Niagara College itself is a leading, on the NCSAC, we are a leading student organization among along all the other universities and colleges in Ontario and in Canada. We always have great new opportunities for our students, specifically with the pandemic. We were offering gift cards for groceries and other things for student needs. And other colleges and other college student councils were coming to us and asking, how can we do that? How did you do that? So not only do we support our students, but we are leading all the other colleges and universities in Canada. I've been able to help develop the strategic plan for the university, or not for the university, sorry, for the college. So one thing that was a huge big goal of mine with the college was being able to bring more preventative resources for sexual assault and sexual violence on campus. So hopefully over the next few years while you're here, you will see some new resources coming. But you have the opportunity as a student here to make lasting impacts on the college, not only for this program, not only for your own personal development, but you can help other students as well. So I think that's about it. I'll stop talking now, but yeah, that's about it.
So I would really like to thank both Josh and Alex for taking time today to talk about the program. And what is, you know, as you were talking, Michelle texted me to say how great our students are. And you really are. And, you know, one of the things that we as a faculty get to see is how you grow and how these experiences that you've had have helped you flourish and gain confidence and go off and do wonderful, wonderful things. So thank you both. That's really great. I thought I'd just go around, I was going to say the table, but probably the computer screen, and just see if anybody had any thoughts or comments they wanted to close with.
So for me, I would just like to say, honestly, and that's what I did text Holub. I know you shouldn't text during meetings, but we look like proud parents as the two of them are talking. We're like, oh my goodness. And I do need to say that both Josh and Alex were very, very proud of you, and you have really put the work in, and we're just, yeah, of all our students, we're very proud of you, and yeah, I'm getting all verklempt. So we are excited to have new students arrive, and especially we look forward to hopefully joining us in September.
Yeah, no, of course. If I may jump in, as an NC alumni myself, it really never gets old listening to stories like Josh's and Alex's. It's really incredible to hear the things that you got to go through in a totally different program than the one I took. And not only that, but it makes me wish that I could go back and kind of get involved in other ways that I didn't get involved in at the time, right? That I didn't take advantage of. So honestly, I can't thank Josh and Alex enough for kind of giving away their student story and sharing that with all of us. And then of course, naturally, Terry and Michelle and both Pams and Pam Skinner, of course, for taking the time to be here and to really to talk about this program and share that information. It means a lot. So thank you.
And if I can just, I'll add my 2 cents before we close, just to say that it's always heartwarming to hear our student success stories. And you've heard all the wonderful things about this program, but as both Josh and Alex have said, there are many, many opportunities for involvement and engagement. And all of these opportunities, whatever program you're in, really lead to personal growth that can only serve you well, both in your career and in your personal life. And so the other thing I will say, and I noticed this when I first came to Niagara College, the atmosphere at the college and the focus and the pride that we take in our students, our relationship with our student administrative council, we're strong partners. We work hand in glove together. And in my area, where most of my staff are not in the classroom, but are providing, IT services, HR, all of that. At our corporate services meetings, we talk about what can we do to make things better for our students. So even the people that you may never lay eyes on, they're thinking about you and how we can make your student experience even better. Niagara College is a very, very special place, and we believe every one of our students are very, very special students. And we really look forward to having you join the Niagara College community.
Can I actually add something? I know there was something that we did touch a little bit on, and I just want to say also for persons who might require more assistance with schoolwork, with tutoring, we have these resources for you, and you don't have to feel embarrassed or shame about it because you're not alone. And so there's a lot of resources that you can actually tap into. Our Accessibility and Wellness Center helps. They have counselors that I firsthand needed to use. And so don't feel as if at the end of the day, they're not the resources. There are resources that are there for you. And again, just ask, just inquire, take that step out and contact us and let us know what you feel. And if you have any questions, that's important. Remember, I'm the one that had all the questions, but it's important because you want to find something that you feel comfortable. And I think that, Niagara College is a home for you. Again, we want to make sure that you're comfortable. So come and check it out because I think that's important. We're a community and we're a family. Yes.